So YouTube, it's your boy Big Al. Alright, got to turn that around so I can get to it. Coming back to you for another video. Just coming out with a new video for this week. This is to help out the rookies. Had a driver get a ticket a couple days ago. Oregon. I wasn't his trainer, but if I was his trainer, he doesn't work for my company. I'm not gonna put him on a blast like that. For not having the bill of lading and stuff on the load tab of the Qualcomm. So what I'm about to teach, real quick. All right, we're good. So real quick, what I'm about to teach is, it applies for every electronic logging device, okay? And it's something that should have been taught by trainers. If it wasn't, I'm sorry, but you know, we can fix that today. And basically, I'm gonna show you how to manage your clock soon as you get into the shipper and receiver. Okay, but basically, okay, this doesn't apply to you if you have the load. I know, what is it? Can't think of the name of it right now. Like Schneider uses, it's called something. I can't remember the name of it. But that's a step-by-step basis. Like, you have to click each tab, and you fill in the tab, and it'll populate stuff for you, and you just go through, review, check, sign. I mean, not sign, click OK, and you can't complete the next task until you complete the task in front of it. So basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check this out. We're using the old Omnitrax Qualcomm. The only difference between this Qualcomm and the other one, like what they use at CR England, Schneider, all these other places, is you got the slide up keyboard. This one doesn't take up that much room. The only another difference is workflow. That's the name of that program at Schneider. If you got workflow, this doesn't apply to you, but you should still check it just in case. Okay. Ours is kind of slow. We need updates on ours and stuff like that. So the first thing you want to do when you get to a shipper, all right, you want to send your arrival call. I'm gonna say this is for my company, but if you're not in my company, I'm pretty sure you have some type of form of arrival call. Unless you're you know, an OO type of dude, so you ain't got these problems. Owner operator, they don't have these problems. However, all the owner operators that's now getting ELDs that have never ran ELDs could actually learn something from this. So first thing you want to do when you get to the shipper is send that call. Arrived at shipper. If you want to, I don't know, if some people ask for time, things like that. No, interstate, they ask for time, blah blah blah, whatever, time, mileage, stuff like that. The next thing you want to do is go into your hours of service and immediately go into on duty. Now, I saw something about one company saying that they had to stay in on duty status the whole time while they was at the shipper. I researched it. It's not legal. Now, they can make it company policy, but they can't, like, you can't get a ticket for it. Now, companies can do what they want with their trucks. Like, I know Schneider doesn't let you split brake. I know Schneider also doesn't do off-duty driving, unless some things have changed. Now, some things might have changed, but I seriously doubt it. So those are the first two things you want to do when you get to the shipper and receiver. And if you got a piece of paper, you can write it down. This is where you won't lose time and you won't have to go back and edit. get to the shipper and receiver. Now, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, everything that I'm teaching, I don't want you to think it's not another way to do it. Okay, this is just something that helps some of the new guys that came into the game, and it's just questions that I get asked. So there's not one way to do this. Okay, this is just a way that helps me, and it helps the students that I train. I currently don't have a student. I'm supposed to pick up a student next week. So as soon as you get to ship and receive, you send that check, that arrival call. Then you change your duty status to on duty loading. Now, most trucks and most places you can get from the guard shack to other places in on duty. Okay, you can get to the the receiving office or shipping office, and you can get to the loading dock back up. You'll still be on duty. You'll be fine. All right. The minimum time I teach my students, the minimum time to go through to minimum time on loading is 10 minutes. That's checking in, backing in, going to the shipping office, giving them your number, coming back in your truck, closing your curtains, eating, YouTubing, watching me. No, I'm just joking. Facebook, whatever you're gonna do. Because after you finish there, technically you're off duty. Technically. Now, this is about the book. Now, some people are gonna say I'm wrong, and that's all up to you. But I have asked. Now, a lot of these things that I'm asking, I stop at the scale house. I'll pick the brains in Cali, Oregon, Washington State, Idaho, and Utah, and Florida on a couple things. I've actually gotten a little couple things with Florida. So basically, that's what I'm teaching tonight. All right. By law, the minimum time that you need is 10 minutes on duty. Every time you change your duty status to on duty, it's a minimum of 10 minutes, no matter what it is, unless you're scaling or something like that. That's a different story. Okay. The next biggest thing that you have to understand, you have to label on duty when you're scaling. You have to. If DOT pulls you over and they see you don't do any scaling, or they just, it could be luck of the buck. You could have a squeeze gauge, you could have on track on the trailer, whatever. But make sure that you show some type of time of scaling. Okay, scaling, fueling, pre-trip. Anything you got to do with the truck, all right, you want to cut down minimum on duty time, so you can save hours. Okay. Now, with that being said, while they loading you, blase. Okay, say it takes them 7 hours to load you. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure by the book, you're not supposed to do it like this, but if you want to gain time, this is the best way to do it. If you can split 8. Okay, you just pull out, close your doors, get your paperwork, pull up somewhere, back in, and then go use the potty or whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I got kids, so I say potty. Okay. And just sit there. Make sure you keep it in sleeper mode. Okay. But long as you load that loading portion, you're good to go. Okay. Now, I haven't got popped for it. Nobody that I've taught got popped for it. I've been audited a couple times and there was nothing. Okay. So now we're loaded. We done split. We don't worry about the split 8. That's a whole nother video. I'm gonna teach that, how to split 8, and it's pretty simple. Okay. I'll teach you about off-duty driving, because I've definitely got a video for that one. Definitely. Okay. So here we go. You send your loaded call. Everybody has a loaded call. Now, whoever you run for, you got a loaded call. That's your owner operator. This don't apply to you. But if you're watching your videos, thank you. But this might apply to you too. Okay, so now what we're about to get in is the actual loading tab portion. Now, what you're supposed to put into the Qualcomm. Okay. All right, here we go. I got a hold of camera. So all right, so the first thing you want to do after you get loaded, after you send your loaded call, whatever, you want to go to your hours of service. Now, if you don't have this tab, you do have some type of tab in the video. You do have some type of tab where to tell you what you got to do. Okay. All right. So you see, I've been in the sleeper for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. So let's go to load. You see, there's no load, bobtail, because I bobtail. All right. So you want to go new load. All right, you want to put your load ID. That's basically what your company is telling you your load number is. Okay. Your bill of lading number, that's self-explanatory. Must go there. And trailer number. Now these, not really too well. It's populate. You have to go change it every day. So if you're gonna keep it for to the 13th or the 14th, you just click over one on hours. But it's easier with the keyboard. It just is. You have to fill in this load tab. You have to put this load identifier in here. You have to put the bill of lading number and the trailer number. If you do not have those in there, you will get a ticket. All right, so we got the whole spiel down about the load tab. It's very critical to you doing that. All right, so next thing I want to hit on real quick, because answer all the questions he was talking about. Go further in depth on the 11-14 and 8-2 split. All right, so basically to explain it to you, the 14-hour day starts when you start the pre-trip. Okay, you cannot stop the 14-hour clock. Once you start it, you must go, unless you do an 8-2 split. Now that's what I'm gonna talk about now. Now, of course, everybody know we got 11 hours of drive time. Everybody, even if you're a rookie, even if you're a rookie, you know that. Okay, that was my wifey. You know, she's hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, 8-2 split. So say you want to pause your clock and then regain your 14 after the 8. Well, you're not going to regain a total 14. So the best way to explain it to you is 14 hours duty day, 11 hours of drive time. However, if you do an 8-2 split, you will pause your 14. And at the end of that 8 hours of consecutive 8 hours of sleeper berth time, you will get the remainder of your 11 and your 14. I say that again. You will get the remainder of your 11 and your 14. Okay, now I got a little diagram. Back to my pad. So I started. Well, let's go here. I started my pre-trip at 6:15. My delivery is at 22:30. Military time is 10:30. Real quick, to get military time, if it's past 12 o'clock, you add 12 hours. Okay, and if it's under 12 o'clock in the morning, you subtract 12 hours. So 12 minus 12 is midnight. 00. Real quick. All right, now let's keep going. I started my pre-trip at 6:15. My delivery is at 22:30. Okay, I got 7 hours of drive time. Okay, I started my clock early because I want to be able to have time at the shipper. Yes, I can start now, but my 14 will end at 8 o'clock because I started at 6 a.m. Okay, so that's 14 hours. 6 to 6 is 12 plus 2 is 8. So you would have to take a complete 10 at 8 o'clock. Now, to say you want to leave at 6 a.m. to beat rush hour traffic, things of that nature, this is where the 8-2 split comes in handy. Okay, if you want to save time, if you want to be able to run after you deliver and things of that nature, yeah, you could wait until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, run, deliver, but then you're only gonna have the time left. Yeah, you could do that. All right, so we ran 7 hours. Okay, and we're here. We got here at 13:30. We're at the truck stop right outside the receiver. Literally, you could throw a rock at it. Okay. We back in, bunk down, close the curtains. All right. At this time, you're gonna go into an 8-hour consecutive sleeper berth. Meaning on the Qualcomm, you go to sleeper berth and you don't move. Excuse me. All right. So you're gonna get your nap, go take your shower, come back, you know, catch you at night. Maybe you got a follow-on pickup, something like that, a dropping hook, you know, if you're lucky. All right. Now, right here, we're here at the truck stop. We done shut down. We went in the sleeper berth. That's what we started with today. That's what we have used. This is my 14. This is my drive. Okay. Now, we're gonna take our day. Now I did 7.25 because that's how we do it on the paper logs. We don't do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We do it in 2.5. So that will leave me with 6.75 hours on the 14, and it'll leave me with 4 hours of drive time after 8 consecutive hours of sleeper berth. Okay. Now, somebody said, well, what is the 2 hours is for? That meaning that you start at 13:30, sleeper berth, 8 hours. You come back on at 9:30. Okay, you still got an hour to deliver. Okay. The hell was that? But anyway, go ahead and go to the shipper. All right. Well, I talked about that in a minute. If the shipper is really that close, you could probably on duty over there, never even break a sweat, or whatever, depending on what they got the mile per hour set on your clock. But I'm teaching you the right way. We're not gonna break the rules. Okay, so we got the 8 hours. Next, we got that time back. We got 6.75. We got 4 hours of drive time. So we got a total of 6.75 hours to get unloaded. Now say it takes an hour to get unloaded. Okay. You got an hour unloaded. You still got 5.75 hours to run, 4 hours to drive. Still with me? Okay. Now, here's where it get a little tricky. Okay. You still have to take that 2-hour break. Okay, you don't get a full 11 hours back and a full 14 hours break back after the 2 hours break. Now, the 2-hour break can be sleeper berth or off duty. Those are only two options you have. Okay, you don't get the full 14 back. You just get the remaining of the 14-hour day back. So you get 5.75. Okay. And that's how the 8-2 split runs. Now, let's talk about some off-duty driving. And then we're going to wrap this video up. Off-duty driving. Alright. Now, I got popped for this in Cali, but I didn't get a ticket. I got a warning. I got looked at. Log level 3. They went all the way through my logs. They went through all my logs. They did an audit on my logs. Alright. My company allows off-duty driving. Okay. And it's a label right under the duty status, off-duty driving. However, you can only use off-duty driving in 2 instances. There's actually 3. But a lot of people get it messed up. Actually, no. It's only 2 instances. The other one's not really legal because you have to prove it in court, so he can still write you a ticket. So I'm not even going to talk about it. You have to be bobtail, okay, or you have to be empty. I'm gonna say that again. You have to be bobtail or you have to be empty. There's no either or. You cannot be a loaded truck, a lading vehicle, and moving in off-duty time. Not my words. Because I was hot about it, so I decided to asked some officers, and it didn't work too well. And actually, they told me from now on, when they start seeing our trucks, they're gonna start pulling them in, checking the logs. Now, that's neither here nor there. Now, off-duty driving. If you need to get to a safe haven and you're over your 11, you can violate your 11-hour clock to get to a safe haven. But here's the but. You have to annotate it in your log. When you go to comment section, you have to annotate, ran out of time, needed to find a safe haven. A lot of companies are ding you for that. Unfortunately, you know, that's just them being a pain. Far as my company, they kind of overlook it a little bit. Now, if you're doing it once a month or twice a month, DOT won't bother you. Now, these are the words. I probably should have got that on video. They won't really hassle you about it. But if you're doing it every single day, then they have a problem. Now, somebody said, well, when can you supposed to go back to the return of duty to where you started off-duty drive? That's not correct. Okay? That's the way you can mitigate off-duty driving problems with DOT. That's the safest way to use your off-duty driving time. Bobtail and go and get whatever you're gonna get, come back, get your trailer, go. That's the easiest way to do it. However, you can be empty and off-duty driving. One, you can't be on a load, okay? Two, you cannot be advancing towards a load or advancing to be in position for a load. Now, I was told in Oregon, that's a tricky thing. Now, they can still write you a ticket, but all you have to do is gather your necessary evidence and take it to court. Now, if you want to take that gamble, take it. Now, if you're bobtail, somebody said, well, how far can I go off duty? Okay, there is no limit, but as DOT said, you need to be going towards your house or going towards a terminal to shut down, or a truck stop, or a rest area. You shouldn't be driving 200-300 miles to find a parking space. So if they catch you, most companies will only allow you to drive an hour off-duty driving. But you have to be empty. You have to be, or bobtail. If you have even OSND on your truck, you cannot off-duty drive unless you drop that trailer. Now, you can be under a load and off-duty drive, but you have to drop that trailer. Now, if you say, all right, I'm just going to creep up here to the interstate and off-duty drive, but you loaded, and they do an audit on your logs at the scale, you're going to get a ticket. They're going to, hey, why you off-duty driving with a laden vehicle? I know. I was hot about that. I literally was calling people, my safety people, all kind of people, and the next time I go through a scale, I'm gonna make a video about it. Now, with that being said, don't be scared to use your off-duty driving, because it's up to the police, it's up to the DOT to prove that you was off-duty driving. He can write you the ticket, but you can always fight it in court. All you have to do is prove that you was off-duty driving. Now, for some that's easy, for others it's not. Okay, but if you have a bill of lading on your vehicle or on that tab, you're not getting out of that whatsoever. Okay, so just keep mindful. The easiest way to do it is to return to the same point where you dropped your trailer. You don't necessarily have to go back to the same point. A lot of people get that misconstrued and stuff like that. You don't have to. That's just most company policies, or people just abusing it, and so companies just tighten down that wrench on them. One apple will spoil a whole bunch for everybody. So it's like, just be responsible with it. Just understand that long as you have product on this vehicle, you cannot off-duty drive. It's better to take the violation, okay, violate the logs, say 15-20 minutes, maybe even 30. Hell, I've even been an hour going down into Cali. I've been an hour over on violation, but when I was audited, I explained it, and they They looked at it. They're not crazy bad. The only place I've seen is terrible is Indiana and the top side of California. Now, down the southern parts, nah, give or take. In Arizona is starting to tighten it down. But just keep that stuff in mind and understand this. What I'm telling you or talking to you about is just one way into help you do things. You can take all these tips and tricks and develop your own scheme of how you want to do things, your own rhythm. By no means is this 100% the way you have to do things. There's no way. The only thing that's 100% is the 8-2 split and off-duty driving. Other than that, you can do anything however you want to. This is just something to help you out, okay? Like I said, be mindful of off-duty driving. If you don't have to use it, don't use it. If you got time to roll with your 70 and everything, just use it. It's safer. It's easier. Because at the end of the day, it's your license in jeopardy, not mine, not DOT's. So if you don't have to use it, don't use it. Be responsible, stay safe, stay straight, and stay up. Salute to you, 100. Shout out to my boy Mike Tillett, Mike T. Call Tillett. I see you, boy. Appreciate everybody for watching these videos. Holla.